This is your 420 Radio News for Thursday, April 18th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. Oregon Senate passes bill to allow medical marijuana for post-traumatic stress disorder treatment. This from the Statesman Journal. The Senate passed a bill today that would allow people with post-traumatic stress disorder to get medical marijuana cards, but not all lawmakers were sold on the idea. Senate Bill 281, which passed on a 19-11 vote, is now headed to the House. The issue divided many of the Senate Republicans, some of whom weren't convinced that medical marijuana would effectively treat the anxiety disorder. While there has been anecdotal evidence about its beneficial effects on post-traumatic stress disorder, there isn't a consensus about the drug in the medical community. Senator Alan Olson, a Republican from Canby, said, quote, you can sit down with a bottle of Jack Daniels and listen to Charlie Daniels and probably get the same effect, end quote. Olson, a former narcotics investigator, told other lawmakers. Democratic lawmakers said they were persuaded by testimony in committee from veterans who told them medical marijuana helped them deal with nightmares and other symptoms. Lottery winner to pledge $1 million to legalize cannabis from MarketWire.com. On Saturday, April 20th, activists and cannabis enthusiasts will gather in cities across Canada, including Vancouver, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Toronto, Ottawa, Halifax, and Yellowknife. This year, the annual nationwide 420 celebrations are entirely sponsored by lottery winner Bob Erb. When Bob Erb started buying lottery tickets in the early 1970s, ending the war against cannabis may have seemed more likely than hitting the jackpot. On November 2nd, 2012, 4 decades of playing the lottery paid off. Bob Erb won a $25 million jackpot. 2 days later, Canadian laws regarding cannabis changed too, as mandatory minimum sentencing for cannabis offenses came into effect. Looking to the future, Bob has pledged $1 million to fund national campaigns to end the criminal prohibition of cannabis and enact positive regulations regarding use, production, and consumer safety. Bangor smoke shops agree to pull popular synthetic marijuana Spice off the shelves. This from Bangor Daily News. The owner of a downtown smoke shop and Main Street pawn shop agreed to halt sales of synthetic cannabinoids, better known as Spice, at the request of interim Bangor Police Chief Peter Arno. We're going to pledge to not sell any of the synthetic smokes at all. We're completely dropping it, said Chris Rulin, owner of Herbal Tea and Tobacco, on Wednesday afternoon. Richard Hatch, who oversees compliance at Cash Express, said Wednesday afternoon that he agreed to stop selling Spice after his inventory runs out. William Easton, a 19-year-old customer of Herbal Tea and Tobacco, said 2 of his friends suffered seizures after smoking Spice. He walked into the store Wednesday to thank the shop for agreeing to weed out the product. Pot grower faces drug gun charges in deaths of 2 intruders from UPI. A Seattle area man was arrested for shooting 2 alleged burglars who broke into a garage where he was growing marijuana, federal prosecutors said Thursday. Jeremy Capodanno of Puyallup was charged with federal drug and gun violations in the December incident, which left the 2 alleged intruders dead. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Seattle said in a written statement, prosecutors did not consider Capodanno's actions to be an act of defending his home, even though the garage was attached to his residence. Quote, this defendant chose to enter the illegal drug business and armed himself to protect his trade, not his home, said U.S. Attorney Jenny Durkin. His conduct brought thieves to his door, put his 7-year-old son at risk, and ended with him taking 2 lives, end quote. The government seized about 200 pot plants in their investigation, along with the pistol he used to shoot the 2 intruders, plus 4 other firearms. Prosecutors also said they plan to seek forfeiture of Capodanno's home, plus another residence in Kent, and 2 vehicles. Capodanno was taken into custody Wednesday night and faced arraignment in Tacoma Thursday. DEA sees rise in hash oil explosions in San Diego County, from 10news.com. Drug Enforcement Administration officials say they are seeing an increase in hash oil explosions in San Diego. In the past 12 months, law enforcement has responded to 3 significant hash oil explosions, including one in January at the Heritage Inn that burned 3 people. The DEA also found at least 6 other hash oil extraction labs locally, but fortunately no explosions were reported. DEA officials say the main profit is money, with a gram of hash oil yielding anywhere between $30 to $80 on the streets. This has been your 420 Radio News for Thursday, April 18th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. When we come back, we go behind the headlines and take a look at the activities happening in Denver, Colorado for the first 420 in the post-legalized era. This is the Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org. We'll be right back.